Get your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.
When creating invoices, you will sometimes have different categories of charges. It is helpful to be able to group and subtotal each section on your invoices. To do this, you need to create a new form style. The first step is to click the gear icon and select Custom Form Styles from the Setting heading. This link will take you to the Custom Form Styles page. To create a new form style, click the New Style button at the top right-hand side of the page. This opens the Style section within the page where you will be able to select a basic style for the form. Select Invoice from the Form Type drop-down at the top left side of the page if needed. Then select a style from the choices shown below the drop-down menu. The center of the page will show the style you select. Above the preview at the top of the page is a pencil icon. Clicking this icon will allow you to name this form style. Along the right-hand side of the page, select a logo and a color to use within the invoice. Then you will need to set the additional invoice settings by clicking the tabs shown at the far left side of the page. These tabs control the appearance, header, activity table, and footer of the invoice. To set the grouping and subtotaling options in this invoice, click the Activity Table tab. There are two sections within this tab, Columns and More. In the More section, you will see a Group by Activity checkbox followed by a drop-down list. Check this checkbox and then select the option you want to use to group your activities. The drop-down list contains the options Day, Week, Month, and Type. To subtotal each group, check the Subtotal Groups checkbox that will appear after you have selected the Group Activity By checkbox. Note that if you are grouping by one of the date options for day, week, or month, you must enter a service date on your invoice. If you do not, QuickBooks Online Plus will see all separate detail lines as occurring on the invoice date and will not list separate groups or subtotals. If you are grouping by a date option, you must also include the date in the column section directly above the More section. Likewise, if you decide to group by type, you will need to enter at least two different types of items into the invoice to create subtotals. The types are charges, billable expenses, and billable time. In QuickBooks Online Plus, all of your products and services are considered to be of the charge type. If you do not list at least two different types of items, meaning charges, billable expenses, or billable time within the invoice, the system will not recognize different types of items and therefore will not group or subtotal. If you have multiple activity rows with the same description and rate, you can check the Collapse Activity Rows checkbox to hide the details of those items in a group. After you have made your selections in the Activity Table section, you can click the Preview or Print button at the bottom of the page to preview what your invoice will look like. You can also make any other stylistic changes to your form using the other areas of the Make Adjustments page. You can also make any other stylistic changes to your form using the other tabs within this page. When you have made all the changes you want to your form, click the Save button at the bottom right-hand side of the page to complete the creation of your custom form style. If you did not select a name on the first page of the menu, then when you click the Save button, a small Name As window will pop up, allowing you to enter a name for the custom form and then click Save to continue. You will be returned to the Custom Form Styles page, and you will now see your new form within the list. You have two options when it comes to using your customized invoice. If you know you will only be using this invoice periodically, you can simply use the Customize button at the bottom of the invoice window when you create a new invoice to apply the style. Clicking the Customize button will display the list of custom form types that you have created. You simply click the style you want and continue creating the invoice. It will then apply the grouping and subtotaling you chose to the line items that are entered into the invoice. Now, if you know that you will be using your new custom form style for the majority of your invoices, select the Make Default option from the Action column on the Custom Form Styles page instead. Doing this will make that custom form style the default for all future invoices.
Like what you see? Pick up your free copy of the complete tutorial at www.teachucomp.com/free.